Hello guys, welcome to Funch. Today we present you with our newest mobile design tutorial, a registration and verification mobile design screens. In our last video, we designed 3 other mobile screens for the NFUP mobile app, but in this tutorial we will be designing these 3 new design screens as an upgrade or facelift, if you can call it that. So let's not waste any more time and let's start designing. Okay, so let's get started with this project. First, what you want to do is you want to import the starter pack files that we have provided in the description, so make sure to copy them. I'm just going to paste them right here into my design screen. Let's give this a title. So this could be NFUP login and verification. There we go. Okay, let's start working right now. Let's click F so we can select the frame. We're going to be using the iPhone 13 Pro Max, so just tap it. There we go, we have a frame. Let's copy it 2 more times for the rest of our screens and just let's put them aside for the time being. Let's first design the main login screen, so let's select our frame. Want to add it a color, so let's select this background color. Just copy the hex code. We can add the fill. There we go. Great. We're going to be needing a logo and the status bar for the time being. Let's just paste it next to this frame. Let's add them inside it. Let's add the status bar as well. Let's give the status bar a white color. We want to position this at the top. Want to scale it all the way to the end. There we go. Want to center this, just like that, and want to add title text here. So we're going to write welcome to NFUP. Let's give it 40 pixels and let's change the font family to Seago UI. Perfect. Let's give it a semi-bold here. Let's align the text to center. Perfect. Let's give this title a description in the below. So click T again. Let's just write collect, sell, and create NFTs seamlessly. There we go. Let's give it 16 pixels and auto and regular. There we go. Let's give this text proper text color. Let's try this one, the first one. There we go, works just right. Let's position it to 8 pixels, maybe 4. Yeah, 4 should do the trick. Let's align them and just group them up. Let's give a spacing of 24 pixels below the logo. Yeah, that looks good. Great. Let's position them to the center. We'll maybe change it later. Let's just put it a little bit up. Great. Now we want to create the buttons here. So I'm just gonna select this frame. We're going to be adding a layout grid, columns, and we're going to add the count to 3, a margin of 24, and a color of 16 pixels. Let's add this color here into our liking. There we go. Great. Now I'm just going to write up the text content of the buttons. So I'm just gonna write here import account. There we go. And we can add auto layout to this text, so hold Shift A. There we go. We're going to be adding 12 pixels from the top, and we're gonna center the content here, align center, and let's scale it all the way to the end of our grids. There we go. Let's disable the grid for the moment. Control Shift 4. There we go. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to add a stroke to this, and let's add a 4 border radius. and let's give the stroke proper color. So just select the background color for the moment. We're going to experiment on our own right here. We just want something a bit lighter than the background. So let's experiment here a little bit. Yeah, this should do the trick. Yeah. Oops, there we go. Control Z. Maybe we can add something a little bit lighter. There we go. That should work just fine. Let's copy this below one more time, and let's write here create account. There we go. Let's give this a fill, and the fill should be our primary color. So let's select the second one, which is a slightly darker shade. Let's give it the fill. We'll now select your text and give the text the same color as the background. There we go. Let's try semi-bold here. There we go. That looks good. Let's try 16 pixels here. Nah, it should be 12 pixels. 12 pixels height works well. Let's give it 12 pixels of spacing. Perfect. Let's just remove the all layout here. We don't need it. Now let's just group these two up. There we go. Okay, this guy has a stroke. I don't know. Oh yeah, we just copied the previous element. That's why it has a stroke. Just remove it. Perfect. Okay. So the only thing we're missing here in this design screen is the text below, the privacy policy and terms of service text. So let's just add it, click T. Okay, we'll change the font size later. So let's write it up by creating an account. You agree to our terms of service and privacy policy. Dots. There we go. Let's go to 14 pixels font size and regular. There we go. Center it. I want to give this the same color, the same primary color. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's position it correctly right now. Want it to have a bottom spacing of 24 pixels. By the way, how I'm moving this is by holding Alt to see the spacing from all sides and holding Shift and using my arrow keys to increment it either top, down, left or bottom. So 24 pixels from the bottom, and we want this to be 32 pixels away. Okay, let's try to position this in the center. Perfect. We have our first login screen ready. So login screen. There we go. Let's just copy the login screen one more time to the right. We're not going to be needing this frame, so we can delete them both. We're going to be reusing our elements so we don't double our work for nothing. Let's delete these buttons for the moment, and we're going to be leaving this below. We'll see why. We can delete the logo, and we can ungroup this, ungroup it again. There we go. We have our elements independent. You can select the title and just align it to the left, and let's right here create an account. We want to activate the grid right now, so let's position this right in the grid, and we can actually delete this. We don't actually need this, so we need a back here, so we're going to be needing a back icon, which we don't have, so we can just grab one. Let's go feather icons here, go to your plugins and just search up feather icons if you don't have it. So we're going to be needing arrow left, so just click on this. There we go. We have our arrow left. Let's copy it and paste it into the frames, make sure it's inside it. Now just add a white color to it. There we go. And we're just to write up back here. Let's add 16 pixels. Maybe we can use something bigger, maybe 20. Yeah, that's a little bit too much. Let's go with 16 here. And we're going to be aligning them both. Want this to have 4 pixels. Being 4 pixels away. There we go. Group them. Perfect. Let's position it approximately 40 pixels from the status bar. This should be 32 pixels away. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's start designing the form. So let's click T and let's write up the label here. So username, this should be 12 pixels, I believe. And there we go. I want to have the text content below it, so, and this should be 16 pixels. And let's write up on an example, one alien 77. There we go. We also need a line, so click L to create a line, and let's just scale it on the grid. There we go. We want it to be 12 pixels away. And we're going to be needing a color for this line, so let's try to use this button color here that we have used for the stroke. Well, let's disable the grid to have more visual clarity and just paste the color here. Yeah, that should work well. We're missing just the text color here. We're going to be using this same text color we have applied to this description here, so just copy it and just paste it on both the label and the text. There we go. Well, it looks good. Let's position this to 12 pixels away. That looks great. Let's just add rounded corners to this line. There we go. That looks okay. Let's just select this, group it, copy it down with holding Alt Shift, and this should be email. So let's write an email here, example mail at mail2.com. There we go. Let's go with password. So this should be, let's say we can use oops, I didn't select the right elements, so this should be just stars. And there we go. Let's copy this. Actually, we can just copy this one more time and write password and confirm password. There we go. Perfect. Let's select all 4 of these elements, make sure they're aligned. Let's just distribute the vertical spacing of 24 pixels away. There we go. Okay, now we're going to be needing this icon here, so just copy it and let's paste it right back into the login screen. There we go. So this should be the agreement. The lines are in 24 pixels away from the left side. This should be adjusted correctly. There we go. We have one more. Okay, now it's perfect. Okay, let's just type up the agreement right here. This should be, by the way, 30 pixels. So auto line height as well. So let's just type it up. I have read and I agree with the terms of service and privacy policy regarding the consent of using my data to prevent abuse and protect your account. There we go. Let's give it a nice text color here. So let's use the second one. Add it. There we go. And we should position this. Both should be aligned to the top. This should be away only 8 pixels. Okay, let's go with 12. Maybe it should look better. Yeah, that should do the trick. Group them and position them 3 pixels below the inputs. Okay, now we're going to be needing a button, so we don't have to create one because we already have one. So we can just select this create account button, copy it, select your frame, just paste it and position it at the bottom. Perfect. Right here next. Let's delete this. We actually don't need that. We can reuse this button as well. So let's right here already have an account, sign in. Let's remove the fill here and let's add some text color here. We can use this text color here from this description. Oops. There we go. So select your button, it should be invisible. The text is there though. Add the fill to the text and there we go. And this sign in should be in blue. They should be away 12 pixels away from each other. Maybe 8. Let's try 8. Yeah, let's go with 8. Let's disable them to regular font weight, and this sign in should be semi-bold, just the sign in. There we go. Group them, position them a little bit up, and we're going to be adding the indicator here, home indicator. So we just copy it from the navigation status bar frame that we've provided and just paste it. You can find these elements at the iOS Figma kit, so make sure to check out. It has a lot of useful reusable elements that and components that you can use. Position at 8 pixels at the bottom. Let's just give it fill. Let's select this like whitish shade here. There we go. And this should be away 16 pixels. And there we go. Okay, that's the line. That's the registration screen. Registration screen. Okay, let's just match the names. Okay, let's copy this one more time here. So this will be the verification screen. Let's delete this back. Actually, we can keep it as well. Verify your account, so you can see how you reuse all these elements all the time. So that's pretty good. It's speeding up our workflow. Let's delete all of this. I think we're not going to be needing this, and I think we're not going to be needing this as well. We're just gonna leave the button here. Okay, so we're going to be needing some text here, so let's write up please okay, let's align it to the left. Please enter the 6-digit verification code that we just sent to an example phone number here, 779-285-224812. Okay, there we go. This should be in regular. Let's give it a proper font color. Let's write this gray one to the fill. Maybe this is a little bit too dark. Let's try the other one. It's kind of blending in. Yeah, this should do the trick. Let's position it. This should be around 12 pixels. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to be designing the spaces where the verification code should be entered. So let's give this frame a new layout grid. So you can disable the old one and just create a new. You know what? Don't disable it. Control Z to go back, and just let's add 6 columns, and this should be with a margin of 24 and a gather of 16. Yeah, okay, that should work. And now we want to create lines here, so I'll just create a line. It should be 2 pixels of height, and let's let's give it a rounded corner, and this should be, let's give it a nice color. Let's select this color of the text. It should work just fine. Activate our grid, Control Shift 4, copy it exactly 5 times, should be 6 in total, and there we go. Okay, let's just put them down a little bit, and we're going to be adding some content here. So the active entered numbers, we'll give these blue color of the text holders below them. So let's add 4 here, let's add 32, and this should be center. Let's center them, and they should be away 4 pixels, so this should be this blue color here. There we go. Let's copy this 7, make sure it's centered. This should be 1, and we have a 5 here. Select the rest of your text holders and just give it this blue color. So that would be the active entered number. Disable the grid for the moment. Let's group these up. Let's group everything up right now. It should be 24 pixels spacing from both sides. Perfect. And this should be 32 pixels, maybe 40. Let's add 40 here. There we go. That looks good, doesn't it? Okay, let's finish this up. So let's type here confirm. There we go. And we should warn the users that this verification code will expire. So let's add that option as well. So let's write here expires in 78 seconds. And there we go. Well, this should be regular, centered. There we go. The only thing we should change is this text here. This should be roboto. I forgot to mention it. So this is a longer text and should be roboto. Should be regular, and let's give it different line height here. So it's 15 right now. Let's try 18. So it's more readable. 19. Yeah, 18 should do the trick. Let's check if it's aligned properly. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Much better. Okay. So the only thing we're missing here is like the yellow color for the seconds here. So just select it, copy it, the hex code, and just add it to your seconds. So it's more recognizable. There we go. And the users should be aware that this is clocking out. Let's position it approximately 12 pixels maybe. Yeah, let's give it 14 pixels of font size. Yeah, that works great. 12 pixels of distance from the button. Select both, group them. Let's add 32 from the indicator here. And I think that's it. Let's add this proper name, verification screen. There we go. Select 3 of them, position them, and let's give them equal spacing, 160. There we go. Okay guys, that's about it for this tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed it and learned something new. Hopefully your login designing skills have risen up a little bit by this tutorial, so you have a good idea on how to create a very simple login registration and verification screens. So hopefully this sparks up your imagination. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and we'll catch you in the following next tutorials. Thank you guys.